From the art of the deal to keeping it real. Live from the Simply Vegas studios, it's The Power Move with John Gafford.
Back again. Let me ask you a question. Before we even get started, Connel, first time with the headphones. I normally am the only one that wears headphones in here, but today Connel's wearing them as well. Magical? The drop in?
Going to be a gratuitous use of...
It is, because now you can hear everything that's going on through the board, which is a good thing. So welcome to The Power Move. My name is John Gafford. I am your host. Off today is... The mongoose is off.
Bulgarian mongoose.
The Bulgarian mongoose is off today. Colt is off with family. We wish his family well. He's off taking care of some family issues. Sitting next to me is the counselor. What's happening? Counselor?
Living the dream as always.
Living the dream indeed. Doing God's work. Suing people for car accidents. It's the Lord's work. It's the Lord's work.
Like I said, my rewards are in the next life.
It's the Lord's work. And we do have a very special guest in the studio today. She's somebody that I've been friends with on social media and become friends with, we'll say off social media as well. Yeah. Is what we'll do. We'll say that. Guys, this is Tana. Say hi, Tana.
Hi, guys.
And there's Tana. Tana, a little bit of a rundown on her is... today what we're going to talk about is a couple things. We're going to talk about Tana's become I won't say overnight success, but we'll say a large success through social media, has utilized social media to grow an incredible business. And it ain't OnlyFans. Which is good.
Like, please don't put that out there.
So before we talk about Tana's amazing business with social media, can we talk about this? All right, because here's the deal. I keep seeing all of these drops down my feed, right? I keep seeing all these little clips coming down my feed of all these dudes talking about OnlyFans, talking about if I was a chick, I'd be making $1 million. I would just be a hooker, blah, 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 because I'm going to have sex anyway. Might as well. I mean, have you not seen this stuff? I guess we probably not follow the same people.
But the
point
puppy videos.
The point of that is Tana is huge in the fitness business, which you are.
Yes.
Right? You are in incredible shape. And I mean, I'm sure if you watch this video on YouTube, you can see Tana is a beautiful woman. My wife says that too, which is fine. I can say that, not in a weird, freaky way if you guys think anything weird's happening.
60 shows in, John's never once mentioned how attractive I am.
No, I'm saving it for the 2-year reunion. I'm saving it. But the point is, like, you have a massive social media following. You're a great looking person that has used your appearance, obviously, to work into the fitness industry and do all those things. But like OnlyFans doesn't cross your mind. So I'm curious, as somebody that could totally do that if you wanted, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Right? What is your opinion on it? And what is your opinion on it in general? What's your opinion?
I mean, I would never do it because I have my daughter and my family, and I don't want to be looked at as like just that.
Right.
I've always wanted to have like the fitness because it does take a lot of knowledge to actually be successful in it.
Right.
So I think OnlyFans, you kind of post your butt pictures and like good to go. But I do that on Instagram for free. So.
No. But the point I'm making is like, all these guys on these podcasts seem to keep saying like, oh, there's a price. And I genuinely feel with you, all right, this is a compliment to you.
Thank you.
I genuinely feel there's not a price. Like,
there's not.
Like, I think you've obtained, Chris is like, Chris, like, let me negotiate here and somebody get paid to do. No, but there's not really a price. There's not really a price that you would do that. And I dig that about you.
Thank you.
I think that's good. And this is where I'm supposed to say, not that there's anything wrong with doing OnlyFans, but I think I was thinking about that this morning because I knew I wanted to ask you that.
Yeah.
Right. Where's the let's start with things that let's find the line.
$137 million.
No, not the line of how much you're going to make. I'm talking about where is the line of if you have an OnlyFans and sell pictures of your butt, like where's the line of things you would never be able to do? Like, for example, I don't think we will ever have a president of the United States that had an OnlyFans. I genuinely believe that.
Is it President Camacho from Idiocracy? I do think we will get.
No.
There's going to be a president who had no.
So I think we can all say that would come up and it would just never happen, right? It wouldn't happen. Honestly,
I completely think there would be. I think.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You talk about celebrity. People want The Rock to run. People want Oprah to run. You got to remember, celebrity. The quality of celebrity is decreasing over time. It's not based on accomplishment. It's not meritocracy, right? It's about capture. It's about who's got more looks. It's about who's got more views. The Rock could run for president and win.
Yeah.
Why is he in politics? Who knows? But he could run and win because it's a popularity contest.
See, I think I saw him yesterday. I think he finally, and it's a bad phrase, I think he finally jumped the shark. Because now he's like the ambassador for Shark Week. I'm like, was there nothing left for you to do? Like, have you endorsed everything there is to endorse? Speaking of that, I had the best idea ever this weekend. I think you might have seen it on my post. And next time we go down to Newport or in my house, we're totally doing this. Because I think it'd just be epically entertaining. I just want to get like 4 Shark Week t-shirts and then just take a tripod down to the beach and just set it up and aim a camera at the water and just stand there. just let people and like zero in on somebody that's out there on a boogie board and just gotta stay with them as they're going.
But you have to narrate. You got to be like, he doesn't know that there's a 30-foot tiger shark.
No. You take a walkie-talkie and one of us, because you can sit on the deck at my house and see the beach, and somebody's on the walkie-talkie like, okay, yeah, we're gonna let him go in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, right,
we're gonna let the cage go.
That's the biggest white shark I've ever seen in my life. It's 5 feet from him.
Let it go.
Oh my God.
It's like, nope, he has no idea. Nope, still swimming. Yep, pink boogie board. It's like, wait, what? This is what I do in my spare time, Tana.
I saw that post.
This is what I do.
I did see that, and I thought it was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, I just it's stuff like that I
don't
find.
doubt your ability to commit to that too, which is scary because you'd waste a whole day. Beautiful day in Newport. It would be sent with the fake production crew. I have the beach.
I have wasted beautiful days in Newport doing less. I have.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna tell you this was a packed trip to Newport because it was like we were there all week. The surf was flat, which was miserable. So my surfing fantasy got ruined because, being a gentleman of size as I am, I don't need to be big, but it's got to have some oomph to it for me to get moving. And I went out the first day and just was like, this is not going to happen. And it never got any bigger. The swell was flat.
A lot of 65-year-old men going,
no. But then we went to an Angels game. We went to Disney. But I tell you the best thing we did. OC Fair, buddy. The Orange County Fair. Epically fun. It's like if you haven't been or lived somewhere where there is a county fair, like a straight up, like you can see the championship cobbler. I mean, I saw pigs racing. I saw a 4-day-old cow. I saw things you don't see anywhere else.
I think we need to go to the fair.
Dude, the fair's the best. It is. I saw racing. I mean, it was amazing. And the kids said, hands down, best day they've had in forever.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, it was there. No, I'm throwing it out there. So anytime Orange County Fair, there's your plus. But let's get to Tana because I think we talked about nonsense for how long have we been talking now? Okay, listen, when Colt's here, we'll do 20 minutes of nonsense before we talk about anything. So I think 7 is pretty solid, I think. But as we go here, so let's talk about you. So obviously you are a trainer.
Yes.
You have your own brand of vitamins and supplements that you sell.
Yes.
So how does this get started? Like when did you start with fitness? Where did this start?
So back when I was 13, my mom would drag me to the gym and I hated her for it. I was like, I will never go back into the gym. The second I turned 18, I'm done with this. And the second I turned 18, I got into becoming a personal trainer, did fitness competitions, and I was always pretty well known on Facebook, Myspace back in the day.
Oh yeah, the MySpace.
MySpace. Oh yeah. So
Who's your top 5 on MySpace?
Tom.
Yeah,
Tom.
definitely.
Dude, we talked about Tom, right?
He's just killing it.
No. We talked about my buddy Josh Avon. We talked about that, right? Did I tell you about this? My buddy, not to cut you off.
No,
this is a great story. My buddy Josh Avon. I'm looking at his Facebook one day and he's at dinner with a bunch of dudes because he goes to like a guy's lunch, a guy's dinner like once a week. And I'm looking at it, and one of them is like at Tom, blah, 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 MySpace. And I'm like, wait, not that. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you're at dinner with Tom from MySpace?
He has real friends too.
No, but it was so mind blowing. But it's like, he was the only thing I ever see is him like looking over his shoulder with that goofy smile at the computer. And now you're like a real guy. I thought it was astounding. So anyway.
So he's doing well.
Yes. You were booming on MySpace.
Yeah, then it went to Facebook, and then Instagram started.
Okay.
And, I had gotten some sponsors, and they were the ones that were just like, why don't you do online coaching? But I didn't have a site. I didn't know how to get started with any of that.
So you were at this time you were doing fitness competitions?
Yeah, I was doing fitness competitions. So, what was it? Like Shreds came to me, Ronnie Coleman, all the good old school people on Instagram. And the guy that owns Shreds was like, you really should be doing online training. And I was just like, I don't know how to get started. And he's like, don't have excuses. Like, just do it. Put it out there. So I started putting my butt on Instagram. And so after that, it was just, I was constantly posting what I was doing, what I was eating, and people would start DMing me, commenting, and it just built from there. And
so here's a question, and this is one of the things I find so interesting about your social media, right? Which is, I think people, when they look on social media, they look on there for a couple of reasons, right? You go on social media to be entertained.
Yes.
You go on social media to maybe learn something. But I think there's a large population of people that go on social media to tear other people down. Look at this fucking guy. Look at this. You believe this guy? Whatever. And the stuff that you post, man, with the images that you post of your fitness, like pictures, like I would immediately assume that most women would be like, look at her.
Cheeseburger.
Look at this girl. Look at her. What and God, she's gonna. Oh yeah, we get it. Your butt's firm. We get it. I'm like, but that's what we think. That's what you would think. And dude, I see the reaction that you get from women, and it's all like positive. It's so. Even my wife is like, oh yeah, man, she looks great. Blah 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 blah. Who is, I'm not saying my wife likes to tear people down, but she does like to watch The Housewives, and there's a reason for that shit too, right? Because you want to do that. But I see that, and I think that's so interesting that you are able to post in a way that is, how do I put this? Like sexy to women, not really to, you're not shopping for dudes on there. You're shopping for female clientele, and you do it in such a weird way. So I'm curious about the thought process behind that, and I'm curious about how you do that, how you walk that edge where you're appealing to women and not men.
It is almost exclusively women you target.
Yeah.
I only work with women.
Yeah.
And, I always go back to how I felt. So I talk a lot about that emotion. So after having a child, like it was really hard for me to tone my butt. And I put it out there. Like I show my pancake butt where I'm still in my postpartum diaper, and I'm very authentic about that. So a lot of guys, like it takes a very strong man to stand by my side in a position like that, because it's like I put everything out there and I try to stay as authentic as possible in a very kind way, where it's like people know they can come to me and be like, hey, like I'm super depressed. I don't know what to do. I have 40 pounds to lose. I haven't been able to do anything. And I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh, that sucks. It's like, all right, well, let's talk about what you've been doing, what's not working. Let's figure out a solution.
Yeah, I think that's interesting what you said was, and if you're doing social media, I think a big mistake that a lot of people make is they go on and they try to tell people what to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you want to be successful, you need to do this and this and this, instead of telling the story from a place of self. Like whenever we're on here, we always try to bring stuff back to personal stories. Like this is something that I did. This was an issue for me. This is how I got to where I am. And if that level of storytelling helps others, then great. If they find it boring, then fuck you, go listen to something else. Just whatever. But that's the point, is coming from that place of authenticity. I mean, it'd be very easy for you to go on and be like, look at me, I'm in shape, you're fat, eat this, but it's not. You go on and you talk about those things and those personal times in your life. Did you find, so obviously you're Mackenzie, right? That's her name?
Yes.
That's her name. Okay. Mackenzie's 4?
3 now.
3 now.
Same age as mine.
3, Nate.
Yes,
3. Yep.
Yes.
3.
We still haven't met.
Oh, I'll look you up.
That I'm aware.
His daughter's my best friend.
Oh, she's so beautiful.
You ask her.
She's not my best
You
friend.
ask her,
She's
she'll
not
tell
a
you,
best
John.
friend.
She'll tell.
Really?
She'll tell you
yeah.
who's your best friend, John. She'll tell you.
But Caitlin and Tana, kids are almost the same month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I think it was like a month off or 2 months.
Yeah, April 4th.
Yeah,
She's
May
May.
4th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Exactly a month apart.
Maybe that's why we're best friends, because she's April 4th. I'm April 6th. That could be it.
Could be.
That could be it anyway. Or maybe we just have the same mentality. She's 3. That could be it too. That could be it too. I don't know.
Absolutely, just gorillas.
So so the question is, before you had Mackenzie, right? Do you find that your approach to social media changed after her? I mean, what was because here's the thing, if you started working at 13, I don't think you ever probably had the chubby teen picked on, last kickball team player picked thing. Like, I don't think you probably had that. Or did you?
I did.
You did?
Oddly enough. Because I had actually struggled with my weight. I was so resistant to going to the gym, and I was just binge eating. That's how I really comforted myself. And so I was kind of that like fluffy until I was about 16. And then I really started to like cut down for shows. And then that led to a whole eating disorder. So it was just like,
Oh God. You want to talk about that?
yeah,
Well, you really focus on hormonal stuff, right?
I do. Gut health and hormones now.
So 14 to 16, most girls go through kind of a chubby phase.
Yeah.
They internalize it and feel
Yeah.
guilty about it. But at the end of the day, it's their body going through a natural change, right?
Exactly. And there is a way to actually help balance that out. So, you don't deal with it as much. But I didn't know that back then. I was just like Taco Bell, McDonald's, we're best friends. Like, so yeah, it was a little bit pudgy.
Wait a second. Taco Bell's bad for you?
I mean, not really.
Get out.
No, this is not the diet advice I was looking for.
Yeah,
Not at all. Wasn't at all.
Get out.
Wasn't at all.
How dare you besmirch
How
the-
dare you
the-
besmirch the Bell?
my favorite health food restaurant.
I think the best part about that last segment was all I could picture was you explaining to your 15-year-old daughter that she's going through some changes. And how terrifying that conversation would be.
Well, I don't, because here's the thing. My daughter's very tall and she's 14. She's going through that phase. They start getting boobs. They start going through that stuff. And so their body shape, they start feeling the social pressures of body image issue, right? Boys and girls, they start getting that, right? That's when their guilt starts developing. Yeah. All that trauma that's going to carry you for the rest of your life is developing at a time when you should be encouraged just to have healthy habits. And that phase, every 14-year-old I know that was chubby is skinny by 16.
Oh, yeah.
Like they go through rapid changes, but nobody's there to be encouraging about it and to take a positive approach about, as long as we're eating healthy, as long as we're working out, staying active, don't worry about your composition yet.
Yeah.
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 So you developed an eating disorder at 16?
Yeah, I would say about 17, because it was right after my first competition, and I had literally got done with high school, went straight into beauty school, and I was like, I'm getting ready for a fitness competition. This is like my life, living, breathing it. I got down to 107 pounds. I competed. And then right after that, I hit the grocery store in Newport. And I think I bought the entire grocery store, ate all weekend.
I've done that in Newport. I've done that. I did it recently, I think.
Beach vibes? I don't know.
No. Different motivations.
Yeah.
Different motivation. No, not to make light of it. That's a terrible. How long did you battle with that?
I mean, probably 6 years, I would say, because it was just that constant.
Where were you? Because let me ask this, and because as a parent, this is something that we're always concerned with, which is, where were you feeling the pressure? Was it pressure on yourself? Was it pressure from coaches? Was it pressure from parents? I'm sure your parents are lovely people, and but where did you feel that pressure?
I think for myself, I've just always had a very high standard for myself, and that started very, very young. Like, when we were growing up, it was just like I sat there and I was like, yeah, when I'm older, I'm going to be living, because we grew up in Queensridge, so I was like, I'm going to be living on Winter Palace, and I'm going to have a Viper and a Ferrari, and everyone's like, you're 8. How do you even know what that is? And I'm just like, I just know, and I'm going to be like, I'm going to have really long hair, and I'm going to look this certain way, and that was just like my instant standard. And so it developed at a very young age for whatever weird reason, but yeah, I got fucked up in that at 8.
Oh, boy. So. Yikes. So let me ask you this, because now obviously, we both have girls close to the same age. And, my daughter's 12. She'll be 13 soon. And your daughter's a little older. She's Hayden's age.
14.
14, yeah. Mm-hmm. Are there things that we should look for as parents in our kids that would tip us off to this is maybe becoming an issue?
I think if they're obsessing too much over their food, if they're obsessing over their clothes, like if they're trying to hide a lot around you.
Hiding food.
Like that was an issue for me. Mm-hmm. But even hiding their body and stuff. Like that was one thing around my parents. Like if I felt fluffy, I'd be in a one-piece bikini, and my parents were just kind of like, whatever, like it's your body. If you feel like covering up, it's no big deal. But I felt a lot of shame with where I was at. And so it's weird because you'll pick up on the signs. And that's why I always say, it's the best thing to communicate with your kids. And even though my daughter's 3, it's like, I talk to her about healthy food. I talk to her about being active, feeling good, being happy, expressing her emotions in a positive way, so she's not relating to something like food or, completely zoning out on an iPad all day. So
sublimating.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because I was watching, I don't know who it was. I was watching a comedian that it might have been Bill Burr, which of course you can take this and throw out the window, but he was like, we become a society of, you go, girl. You look great. Yes, queen. Whatever it is, you look like.
Just so long as you're not a threat to me.
You look great. You're 300 pounds. As long as you're not a threat to me. But he's like, can you imagine? He's like, some of these people are morbidly obese, and it's obviously they have an issue with caloric intake. He goes, can you imagine if we treated people that had a problem with alcohol like that? You go, buddy. You king. You lay it in the gutter. You have another drink. Whatever it is. And it's like, So where's the balance in America between it's okay to be morbidly obese and, yes, queen, and you need to be fit without sending somebody into the spiral that you went through? Where's the line there?
It's a whipsaw effect, though.
Yeah.
Like it goes one way and it goes too far and comes back the other, goes too far. And at the end of the day, it's trying to promote kindness.
Yeah.
And that's
I agree
the
with that.
problem where it gets kind of glossed over, because there are people with legitimate issues, right, that aren't able to necessarily look how they want.
Exactly.
Or whatever. But 96% of people could be in the kind of shape that they purport to want.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about this a lot before. I'll tell you what you want by watching what you do.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you want it, you go do it. Like if you want, I want to do that. Okay. And you go do it. Well, I believe you.
Yeah.
If you tell me I want to get in shape and then I make no changes to my behavior, you don't see me in the gym in the morning, you don't this, that, and the other, I don't believe you want it. You want other things more.
Yeah. What was the quote? Somebody said, everybody has the will to win. Very few have the will to prepare to win.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same deal. So where do you think that line is? I mean, how do you balance that? Obviously you don't want to be unkind to people that, obviously have a caloric intake problem.
Yeah.
But at the same time, is it okay to just tell everybody they're okay? Or is that, as somebody that is coming from the fitness world, and obviously this is important to you, is that okay?
I think it's a very toxic way to live. If somebody's unhealthy. Now, if they're healthy and they have like an extra 40 pounds on them, but they have no issues, then, I mean, if they're happy, they're happy. But if they're depressed, they're miserable, they have health conditions, and people are just like, you're good, you're fine, I think that's extremely toxic.
Yeah.
And I was in that position where after my fitness competition, I had gained about 40 pounds, high cholesterol. I'm, 20, 21, and the doctor's just like, I'm going to have to put you on medication if you don't change your ways.
Oh.
And I was like, I'm not going to be on medication because I know that causes a million other issues. So I really dialed things in. I realized I can't eat a half a gallon of ice cream every night. And so,
Well, I mean, you can. You just should.
it's just a little unhealthy.
Yeah, you can, but you shouldn't.
So, yeah, I mean, I always tell women you really do have to honor like how you're feeling. Like if you feel good, then great. And there's no issues. But if you're having a lot of issues and you feel like crap, then stop listening to everyone who's just like patting you on the back for
kindness sake.
For kindness.
Well, at the end of the day, people see this distinct separation between your mind and your body, where in reality they all work together.
100%.
So people always say, "Oh, I cannot exercise and feel great." It's like, I don't think you can. I think I am my highest functioning when I haven't been drinking booze, when I've been eating very clean, getting a lot of sleep. All of a sudden, my mind is way sharper, my body's sharper. Everything, there's more vitality in your step. You don't think you feel bad until you sort of feel better.
Yeah. No, it's very, very true.
No, I think for me, it's like I don't think about, like I go through phases where, we work out, and then phases I don't. We did the $50 Fit Club. We did all those things, which is funny. That popped up on my story the other day, and I was like, oh, man, yeah, I was probably going to go back to that. And then I'll go out and surf, and it's like, I'm 50, so I'm not a kid. But it's like, if I'm not in really good shape, I can't do the stuff I want to do. Right.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of did it. So I didn't tell you this, but I literally, a buddy of mine's one of my mastermind groups. His name's John Madsen. I don't know if you know him. He used to be a Raider. He has a mastermind group called Superhuman, and I just actually joined that, and it was not cheap.
Yeah.
And it was, but here's my thing. It was like, this morning I spent an hour on a call with a nutritionist that's going to get my nutrition stuff all squared away, and I get trainers every day, and they're not here. I mean, they live between Scottsdale and Salt Lake, but they're going to be right there every step. And they're like, bro, and here's the funny thing. Like what got me was I followed John forever. And this is the thing about fitness that I think is so interesting, which is where you think you probably need to go if you're not where you should be. Yeah. Is probably not even close to where you do really need to go. Yeah. So I was watching I watched his Instagram, and he had this, let me see if I can find it. I didn't bring my phone in. He had this dude, because he always does side-by-sides of his people, right? That are in his program. This one guy's like, this guy, and he only works for like high-level, like CEO type guys. That's who he deals with. And he's like, this guy came to us and said he needed to lose 30 pounds. He weighed in at 230 pounds when he first got to us. He really needed to lose 60 pounds. It was like, what? And he was like, yeah. And he looked it out. And so one of the things they had me do was check my fat content, and based on where I'm at and based on where I want to go, like my goal weight, like I'm walking on right now today at 228. I'll say it because I don't care, because it's not going to be that way tomorrow. So it's fine. But I always thought, like, if I could get to 205, like if you saw the goals, it was just like 205 is where I want to be. And these guys are like, nope, you need to be 193. Oh. And I'm like, I'm like, well, okay. They go, yeah, we're going to get you 193, and then we're going to go the other way. But we got to get you down before we kind of get you up a little bit. And it was like, whoa, okay. So it's going to be 16 weeks, and we'll see what happens. And I'm putting it out here in the universe that I'm saying I'm going to do this. So, you know, one of the things I like about me is I always tend to do what I say I'm going to do. So if I put it out there, it's going to happen. Right. Plus, I wrote such a large check that it would piss me off if I didn't.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, so let's talk about you and your training stuff. So when did that start for you? Because obviously I can talk about my training thing because, you know, train men, so it works out good.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
if you're like, is this mother trucker really talking about some other trainer?
No. I'm not that kind of coach at all. Because I'm like, I think if people resonate with me, that's when they're going to approach me. And I have some men that'll be like, oh, can you actually work with me? And I'm like, only if I work with your wife. Like, I'm always that kind of trainer.
Smart.
Smart. So
creep factor drops to 0. Yeah. Okay, how many guys drop out of the old opportunity to train with you if you throw the wife in?
I don't know.
What's the drop off rate? I'm going to go 97%.
The way you phrased that, John.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. I'm like,
throw the wife. Yeah,
you live in Las Vegas, John.
You people are terrible.
Throwing the wife in is the goal for some people.
That is not what I meant at all. You know
we're both like,
dreadful.
Do I say
this is not? It's not that kind of podcast, Connel.
He took it.
Anyway.
Talking about NFL players in Las Vegas, I think it might be, John.
That's a good point. That's a good point, I guess. I don't know. Who knows?
Oh my God.
All right, so when did you start actually doing online training? You said your sponsors told you should do this. Is this Myspace days? Is this Instagram days? What is this?
This was when Instagram first started. So, and I had grown very, very quickly. Like my Instagram's actually dying right now. Are you shadow banned? You know what?
I feel like I am.
I know I got flagged a long time ago, and after that, because I was at 1.7 million, and so
you had 1.7 million followers on Instagram. Yeah. Not paid for, nothing, just
nothing,
just all organic.
And we used to do a lot of shout for shout, and that's when I first started the whole online training. And I was just posting, and I was doing it in such a ghetto way. It was like literally my before and after. I was making meal plans and workout plans on the notes on my phone and having people PayPal me. And it was my first year doing it. I made $80,000. And
you're like, I might be onto something.
So yeah. And that's where I was like, okay, I'm like, you know, I've been doing hairdressing and I'll make like $500 a week, maybe on a good week. And so I kind of had to sit there and be like, do I want to do the hairdressing or do I want to do online coaching?
Let me ask a question. As a former hairdresser, how do you feel about this thing that Connell has? How do you feel about the QP?
You know,
I don't know.
Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
It's a wild thing and it fits him.
Yeah.
It does. I love it.
He's a crazy
wild horses
Connel.
can't be tamed, John.
You know what? You know what I've just decided? It's not Colt. It's the seat.
It is.
It's because if Colt was here, he would have gotten that.
I know.
He would have.
And I'm here for it.
Yeah,
glad I'm over here.
Yeah, you dug into the big desk. You got the look at the shot is. You got to watch this on YouTube, guys. Connell's got like a blazer on. He looks like Wide World of Sports right now. He really does.
The victory, the agony of defeat.
No, you're holding it together for sure. Anyway, back to you, Tana. Back to you.
So compliment anybody.
So you get 1.7 million followers on the gram. That's a lot. How many do you have now?
1 million.
You 700,000.
Yeah, and that's been over the last, I would say, about 6 years.
Yeah.
And so, but it's weird because I still get really great leads, and we haven't done any kind of marketing this year, really. Like, we kind of shut everything down. I did like grocery cart ads, and that was.
I saw that. I did see that.
Yeah, you know, it was. I was walking through the grocery store one day, and I forgot my grocery list, and I was like, how handy would it be if somebody had a QR code right here to just download a grocery list and have a meal plan to actually put those groceries.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's magical. Yeah. So you just capture their info right then.
Yeah. And so
I love that.
Yeah, so that's been the only marketing I've been doing, and then everything else is organic. So I still get good leads. That's why I'm so confused. Like, because the engagement's a little bit down, but people will be like, "Oh, well, I've been following you on Instagram, and you just keep popping up, and this story related to me."
I got to tell you, the gram is just exhausting to me.
It is.
I posted almost nothing last week.
Yeah.
On anything. Like I have somebody that posts my stuff, but I was lazy getting even this footage up, and there wasn't a lot to post, and like I wasn't posting anything on my stories, and I got to tell you, it was magical.
Yeah.
It was just magical not to care.
Well, that's what you do. You start off with 1.7, John. You drop it to $1 million.
Yeah.
Right.
You weed out the suckers.
We got to get you where we need you to be. Right.
That's it. Exactly.
And then we'll
build
get you back up to 1.5.
That's how we're doing it. That's how we're doing it.
I mean, honestly, when it comes to Instagram, though, I always tell people, like, you kind of have to go with how you feel, because I think people read through the bullshit. So if you put on this happy face every day and you're like, oh, we're going to kick ass. I'm like, I get on some days and I'm like, I feel like shit and I'm going to order crumble cookie. And that's what I'm doing today. I might work out twice, or I might just go for a walk in my neighborhood.
Well, I think that's how people resonate with you, though, because you don't present yourself as Superwoman.
Yeah.
Like, right? Like, I mean, you're like, I feel like hell today. There we go. Or you're like, what's even better? Let's talk about this, though. When did this, because this is the smooth pitch, which is this. It's, look how fit I am. I'm fit. Today, I'm going to go eat a Chinese buffet or some terrible shit. But you know what? I don't have to worry about it because I'm going to take my supplements. Bang, 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 bang. And that almost is the commercial for her supplements. It's not, look, it'll get you ripped. It's, this will keep you from being a bloated pig. And this is what I take. And that's how you do it.
Yeah, those people are insufferable too, though. The ones that, like, oh, I'm totally natural. I just eat donuts all the time.
No.
Have you seen that in that almost overly toxic? Love yourself, accept yourself. You can be like me. You can eat a bunch of donuts.
No.
You talk about balance.
Yeah. You got to have some balance. So when did the supplements come around?
So that started about 2 years ago, and it was something I had worked on for a long time, because I was sponsored by a lot of different companies, and the last company I was sponsored with, I was actually almost in a lawsuit with them because they were paying us about $10,000 a month, and we would do 2 posts a week. And once Instagram changed their algorithm, and this is when all these weird changes start happening, and I just bought like my big boy house back then. And all of a sudden they're like, we're taking people's sponsorship, we're cutting it in half. And I'm like, I've been top sales since being with your company, so that's not going to happen. If so, I'm going to walk away. And so they were like, that's fine, you can walk away. And if you sign with another company, we're going to sue you. So I was literally on a plane to Miami.
Calling Connel law.
I know. Here we go. I wish I would have
For
known
all
about
your
that.
threatening company sponsorship need deals, deal dates.
And I was so blown away because I was just like, everything I gave to this company, and this is literally how they will crumble you up and just, you're done.
Yeah, I think if you just heard that, listen, we're coming into one of those economic cyclical times where there's a good chance that something very similar would happen to you.
Yeah.
So be mentally prepared for it.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think, who was it? Maybe Seneca, I'm not sure. Maybe Marcus Aurelius said that the only excusable thing for a general is to be surprised. Or was that Sun Tzu? Who am I thinking of?
It might be Sun Tzu, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't have Colt here with the Google machine, but But the point being is,
just claim it and wait for someone.
Yeah, the only unforgivable thing for a general is to be surprised. Right. So again, this is one of those periods of economic downturn that you need to be prepared for anything to happen. So to do that. So anyway, so these people said if you sign with somebody else, you're banged out, but they didn't say you couldn't start your own company. Is that what happened?
They had said that they were going to sue me if I signed with somebody else, but I'm like, you guys did breach a contract. So I had my lawyer send them a letter. They got off my back. I signed with another company like directly after that, being like one of the typical Instagram people where you were jumping from company to company. And after I did that, I sat there and I was like, this isn't authentic and I need to let this go, because I'm not going to be able to actually promote this right after I was just with this company. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, hey, now we're going this way. Well,
let's stop for a second because I have a question. So let's talk about revenue streams now. So at this point, you got your online training revenue stream.
Yes.
Okay, you've let go of hair at this point, yes?
Oh, God, yes.
Okay, okay. So, but I'm talking when you were jumping around before your supplement. Yeah. So, what are you making on online training at this point?
So, I was averaging anywhere from 20 to 50 grand a month.
Okay.
And so it was very up and down because I still really didn't have any business knowledge. It was just, I built a site. I was listening to these marketing guys. My program was $157 a month, and I literally worked all the time.
Yeah.
And that's, I was in a really great relationship in that time frame, and the guy had actually left me because he's like, all you do is work. Like,
what was the sponsorship money from Instagram? What were you bringing in there? What
was
channel?
$10,000 a month.
$10,000 a month was that channel.
And then we had a percentage of sales. So it was anywhere from like 10 to 12. Like, so the percentage was pretty small.
Right.
Because they had paid us so well.
Got it.
And but after that, it was just, I can't rely on these people. And then all these companies started getting in trouble for having all this shit in their products
Yeah.
that they were lying about. And I'm
Mexican supplements like made
so it was like, oh my God.
John Jones picograms
Fentanyl.
of
Like,
trend.
fuck yeah. I'm like, oh my God. So that's when I was finally like, you don't really need a ton of supplements.
Yeah.
Like you need a few things for your gut health and to really bring down inflammation in your body and repair. And that's really it. So,
And so you did a white label deal with somebody. I'm assuming those are white labeled.
yeah.
Which is, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
nothing.
I was like, wait, is it called a white label?
Yeah, white label is
So
a
it's
wonderful concept.
private.
For those of you who don't know what white label is, if you're like, I've always wanted to be in the, let's call it energy drink business. There are people that right now have energy drink formulas that they can tweak a little bit here, a little bit there, and you can give them the name of it, and they will wrap, Connel Law energy
Blue
drink
Cow.
right around it, and there it is.
Yeah. And
Blue
that
Cow.
was,
Guaranteed to give you cancer.
yeah.
Drink this, there you go. No, they'll wrap it up, and there you can go from there. So white label is a good way to go if you're trying to start a business. So you did that deal, and would you have minimums on purchase with your white label deal? Did you have to buy minimums? Are you doing drop ship? How are you doing it?
So the way we set it up, it was about 2 or 3 years ago because it took a while to really get things dialed in.
Yeah.
So once I picked the actual products I wanted, that's when we got all the labeling done, and now we just do the drop shipping. So it's like, and they have a ton of products to choose from, but I was like, these are the ones that I truly feel my clients need.
Yeah.
I don't need to be signing up with all these other crazy things because I don't see the benefit for my client.
You keep saying we. Do you have a pretty big team that's working on this stuff with you, or is it?
I mean, I have my tech guys in Canada. I don't know, you'd be proud of that.
Jesus.
My dad's a Connect, so that's.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
So you're half syrup drinker?
Yes, I am.
Love her or leave it, Connell. Love her or leave it.
You're outnumbered here, guys.
I know I am.
Right.
Oh, jeepers. Okay, so you got the supplements coming in there.
He thinks Minnesota is Canada. He thinks
I
Minnesota's
No,
close to the. Hey, I'm
11th
not
province.
going there either. Too cold.
it is. It is.
Anyway, so you got the supplements. You're doing the drop ship.
So yeah, so I pretty much everything's like hands off. It's like I post, and I was doing a few ads to them because I mean anyone that takes my Max Detox, they like literally are like, this is the best thing in the world. Like I'll take it to girls' night, or like I'll go to Jing, and I always sit at the bar to like see who I can meet. And
I'll tell you, you're going to meet as O.J. Simpson, and one day he's going to try to murder you. That's who you're gonna meet.
No.
It's just going to be me and O'Leary.
Oh, I miss
That's
O'Leary.
it.
Oh
There
my
you
gosh,
go.
come high for me. But yeah, it's so funny because like I seriously will sit there and hand out my Max Detox, and I'm like, follow me on Instagram and tell me how you like it. Tell me if you feel like shit tomorrow. And of course they're like hammered. They're like, I'll totally do this, and they'll literally actually write me.
Because
the next
people
day.
will take any pill you hand them when they're.
I know it's actually.
You let them know it's not
actually
Molly,
scary.
right? You're like,
Take this. You're going to feel great.
I
I
know.
promise.
Maybe I should start promoting it that
Maybe,
way.
yeah, maybe,
Maybe
yeah.
hey, that Molly didn't do anything to me. But
Nothing.
man, my gut feels wonderful.
I felt wonderful the next
I'm
day.
so shredded now. I'm gonna definitely go. That
Oh my God. So, but again, when you sell the Max Detox and all that stuff, your supplements, I like it. It's not about look like me. It's I'm going to go cheat. I'm going to go do something stupid. And this is what I'm going to take to make sure that I don't completely blow up.
Yeah.
Which
no.
I like.
Elephant in the room. How much? So you said you competed, you did all that stuff, and you have people that train. And how much of that stuff is? How much do you see in the fitness world approaching on the illegal substance use?
Ooh.
Oh God, very high.
It's so
very
high.
bad. And that was I mean, I took clenbuterol when I was probably 18, and
Clenbuterol.
yeah.
That's the one. If you take enough of it, it's asthma
It's
medicine. It turns into steroids.
They give it to horses. It's effectively a fat burn. It's a thermogenic,
Yeah.
and it basically cranks up your body temperature, so you're just sweating and burning.
I couldn't even work out on it. And so I took it for probably 2 weeks, and I was gaining weight because I just wanted to eat red velvet cake, and I couldn't work out. So I'm like, all right, hopefully this works just by eating my cake.
Oh my God.
Definly didn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, just a lot of people though, get in that world
they do.
and have very little longevity because they're very artificial and their heart suffers the consequences. And you said there's a lot of talk where the bodies, everyone's doing it, no one's dying. But you follow some of these Instagram accounts and it's just dead body, dead body, dead body, dead body.
A lot of them were people I was actually sponsored with, and it's really sad. And I mean, I even see girls do it, and it's like, by the time you're 40, it's going to catch up with you. Like, and I think about it because, I mean, I'm going to be 32 this year, and I sit there and I'm like, oh my God, like, I started Botox and fillers a little too young, and now I'm sitting here at 32, and I'm like, oh shit, might be time for a facelift. Like, same thing's gonna happen when you're filling your body with all this shit. It's going to backfire.
You hear him at the gym and they go, "Are you using this bench?" Yeah. It's like, no, lady. I'm not using it.
Well, yeah,
you need to dial whatever that is back.
Yeah, no.
My pronouns are.
Pronouns are one more set.
That's it. So I have a question, because you said something earlier, and you said it kind of matter of factual, which means there might be a change. So you said when you started out doing this, you're working like crazy.
Yeah.
And you were charging $159 a month.
Yeah.
Has that model completely changed? Because I'm guessing it probably has.
100%. I mean, you kind of know social media. So it's like, you want to make a higher ticket item. So of course, like, I went with what everyone else was doing, and I haven't had to work as much. And that's what I wanted for when I had Mackenzie. So, and that's why I chose online coaching, was like, I want to be able to be home with her. If she has school, if she gets sick, I want to be able to have that flexibility. So we did switch a lot of my model to a higher ticket item. And then we have like a middle tier and then a low tier.
So you say I mean, is it, again, do you have a team around you? Is this something, are you self-educated? Because obviously you got to understand ClickFunnels, you got to understand value ladders, you have to understand all of those things. Is this something that you sought out, or just found people that knew how to do this?
Me and my million personalities. I always say I'll be on my sales calls and be like, we will totally get on. And I'm like, who the fuck is we? And I'm like, I don't know.
Oh my God, we always sounds better, because it sounds like you got a whole team of people.
Well, I'm like,
Connell, when you take on a new client, do you say that I'm going to solve your problems?
My team.
We here at Connell Law.
Connell Law will.
It's
the royal we.
Yeah, yeah. Refer to that brevity sort of thing.
I have that weird thing where I say we all the time, but I have a few tech guys, and then, I am looking to eventually hire someone for marketing, because I just get in those weird funks where it's like, you see all these people on Instagram where it's a lot of OnlyFans, and these girls are getting all these likes and all this engagement. And I still compare myself to that, because I'm like, my account used to be like that. And if I post something stupid enough, I'll get a lot of engagement. And
back to John's point about who's going to win president in 20 years.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's very strange.
It's, it's so true, but it's like, for me with social media, I heard recently somebody said, and it was so funny, because, I think, like, I hang out with some people that are rich. Right? Yeah. I know some dudes that are put your lights out rich, right? And I don't consider myself remotely in their stratosphere.
Yeah.
Right. And the problem is with social media, and with social media, you have to be stupid and flamboyant to get the attention, because the dollars follow the attention, right? Yeah. But then what happens in a business like I have is occasionally that backfires on you. So like things like, for example, like, I was very clear when I invested in the jet with Nick. I was very clear, this is an investment. This is not a flex for me. Yeah. This is not, I mean, since I have owned that jet, I've been on Spirit Airlines. I've been all over the place. It's not a flex for me.
Yeah.
And still, people are like, oh, I don't want to do business with that guy, because I don't want to put any more money in his pocket, which I love that thing, because it's the stupidest thing ever. Because guess what? If you do business with, I don't care if you do business with me as a title company, or you do business with Fidelity, you're putting money in somebody's pocket that owns that company.
Yeah. And
it just becomes, because people see you, they're like, they don't see the guy that owns Chicago Title. Right. They don't see that person. Yeah. So that kind of becomes the catch-22 with me. And I'm kind of like, maybe I'm at a place where, because I'm not trying to sell coaching. I'm not trying to sell, I don't have a program. I don't have a video training. I don't have any of that shit. So I'm like, if I'm not doing any of that, it was kind of the conversation I had with myself over the weekend, which is, if I'm not doing that, then why do I need to be doing this? And I think I probably just need to go back to, doing stuff. I love the podcast, which we always do this, because I always learn something when I'm in here. And I think the information we give is it. And honestly, if we weren't doing this here, we'd be doing it at a bar.
Right. John Gafford reserves all rights to produce any coaching programs he wants.
In the future, whatever.
2020.
There it is. No, so, but we would still be doing this, but I think it's just,
That's how we started doing this, was it?
Yeah, literally
Tommy
sangria.
Bahamas bar that didn't exist anymore.
God.
That was it. They just, I think somebody said you guys should record this. I think it might have been the waiter or the waitress said maybe she was just trying to get rid of us, but she was just like,
hey, why don't you guys go to a studio?
You guys should
really
totally
good job.
Yeah, and it's funny, dude. And even then, like we had an opportunity to level up and be on a big podcast network, and they have an unbelievable studio here in town.
Yeah.
And I thought about it, and it was like, this is 30 feet from my desk. Yeah. Like, there's a lot to be said about coming here and not having to drive across town to go to the Wynn and record it at their studio, which would be dope. I still haven't decided on that one or not. I just see me. You can literally hear me going back and forth in my head about it as we do.
It's way closer to my house.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Which is why I was sort of going with that answer. I was like, man, Chris is like, not close to my desk.
I'm out number 2 to 3 here.
That works out. Well, if somebody was going to try to start an online business that didn't involve, selling pictures of their butthole, what advice would you give them, Tana? Because obviously you have used social media as a weapon to generate, an enormous income by selling products. So what advice would you give somebody trying to do that if you had to do that?
Don't be afraid to share your education and really be okay with entertaining people. I think a lot of times we get really fearful of like, being
an ass.
Yeah, but being goofy or anything of that sort in front of the camera, because everyone's like, oh, if I'm not super professional and dressed to the nine, no one's going to listen to me and take me seriously. And it's like, I'll go live and make sure that people understand my personality. So it's like, I'll drop knowledge, but I'm also going to say a really stupid joke in the middle of it and be a little ADD. But at the end of the day, like, I'm going to get you the results. And so I think people really need to focus on, get in front of the camera and show up. Like, a lot of times people will look at that engagement too. And that was one thing that kind of got me in a funk, was I was looking at this engagement, but then I was sitting there and I'm like, I'm still getting crazy amounts of leads that are closing. So I don't need to be paying attention to that.
Yeah.
So
no, I dig that. I think the authenticity thing is the most important part. Like I have a friend of mine, a guy that I know that is, he's really, really smart. And he's on social media. And he does a lot of the same, not you, and he does a lot of the same kind of stuff that we do here with interview stuff and rolling clips. And the issue is he's getting a little older. He's a little bit older than me. And I guess there's some vanity that's kicking with him because he's now putting this filter on himself. Mm-hmm. And it's so fuzzy. It looks like somebody rubbed Vaseline all over the lens of the camera. Yeah. And it's taking so much away from his content. And I want so much to tell him, like, dude, just be old. It's okay, bro, because if you're trying to help people and they're losing the message because the video quality is so screwy and it's so obviously filtered that it's taking away from your message, and the message is so good. It sucks. So it doesn't matter, how good your message is if you're not being true.
I love that. That's a great point. I always tell people, I joke around, I say, my goal is to be that 80-year-old man at the bar that has like badass stories.
Oh yeah.
Like some really kick-ass stories that people go, that guy did some shit.
Yeah.
That guy, and when you meet those people, have you ever met random people at bars or random people in life and you go,
like produce the Wu-Tang Clan 2 hours into a conversation.
Billy Music.
No, me and Chris I'll tell you the story. Me and Chris meet a guy in Egypt at a bar in a casino.
Yeah.
Like the only place
he hears us speaking. He's like, Americans. We talked to this guy for 2 hours about nonsense. And when I mean nonsense, I mean who's got the best falafel on 32nd Street.
And about his the shooting of the Egyptian program.
Oh, God.
He's not there for an Egyptian TV show.
An hour and a half into the conversation, he's like, oh, yeah.
Right as we're leaving.
He's like, oh, yeah, I was the producer for the Wu-Tang Clan. I did all the records. And I did RZA. Because we're like,
oh my God.
Lead with that. We were talking about that for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
Anyway, go.
Still mad about it.
Still mad. But what were you saying, Connell? You were saying
no, just to be that.
Bad stories.
There's a beauty in age. There's a beauty in experience, right? Water finds its level, right? So you're going to find somebody that will be turned off by your style because they want a stoic, academic, stuffy person who's just pure science, right? And then you're going to find somebody who wants goofy, totally just entertainment value. And there's the middle ground, which is a mix of both. There's a market for all of that.
Yeah.
There's a market for the old guy on the stoop kicking knowledge to the kids, and there's a market for the Jake Pauls of this world punching out, I don't know, whatever they do, right?
There's a market. Why is there a market for that?
Because water exists at all different, And
I'll tell you what, and so now he's fighting some dude that's a washed up boxer, and guess what? He's already paid the dude to lose. Let me go ahead and fill you in let me fill that one in.
But like I said,
are these even sanctioned fights that he's doing, or is it strictly just entertainment?
It's his promotion or whatever. But at the end of the day, and I don't know, I can't comment, but there are people that really enjoy it. There are people that like Little Yachty.
Yeah.
I
don't even know who that is, but I'm just agreeing with you.
Kodak Black. You ever listen to Kodak Black? I mean, it's
No, but
undecipherable music, and I go,
but I know his attorney from The Apprentice. Bradford Cohen, who I know from The Apprentice. That's his attorney.
But you know, it's like there's no accounting for different tastes, right? But then there's some people that think, oh, you listen to Deftones. Deftones is one of your favorite bands. Well, that's not Bach or Tchaikovsky. How could you listen to that crap when Tchaikovsky is the ultimate?
Do you remember?
music?
Do you remember? We were coming home in the land yacht from the Bobs.
Kind of.
And Chris has been overserved. I mean, drastically overserved. Which you could have a suit. I'm not saying
Holding it together. Nothing.
Holding
happened.
it together. And he goes, "Hey, play blah 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 by Fugazi." And I'm like, "Okay," because I'm a good host. So I throw it on and crank it up. Starts playing, and Chris looks at me and goes, "Oh man, doesn't this just bring back the memories?" and I go, "Dude, I've never heard this song." You just assumed that everybody in the world knew this track. Nope, not true. Did not work. But let me ask you this.
Stand by it. Stand by Fugazi.
Let me ask you this, because I'll tell you mine, and then I want to tell you. I want you as a coach to talk to people about how to find the why to get into the fitness thing. How to find the why? Because I'll tell you what it was for me. Right? I read an article and it was based on morbidity rates based on BMI or whatever it was. And the amount of money that I parted with, I'm trying to buy 5 more years of life. And I think I can.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like the whole, don't you want to look good at the pool? Like, didn't resonate for me.
Yeah.
Like, don't you want to do this? Like, dude, I'll stand on my wallet if I need to be tall. Yeah. I know it's a shitty thing to say, but it's true. Right? But the point is, like, for me, it was like, I can buy 5 more years with just a little bit of money and a little bit of effort. Sure. All right, cool. I'll do that.
Yeah.
No problem. Because the people that don't make that commitment and don't do that, when they're at the end of it, would give any amount of money to buy 5 years.
Buy 30 years with stem cells and testosterone.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can. We have at that level, but it's a sacrifice now, though.
Yeah.
So how do you recommend people find that why? Because even when I joined my little program today, and I thought this was interesting, one of the things that he said was, you made the commitment today. Great. Yeah. All right. My coach today was like, dude, you made a commitment. That's awesome. Today's commitment means nothing. The real commitment is in 14 days.
Yeah.
He's like, it's in 14 days. And then every 7 days after that, you have to continue to recommit to this.
Yeah.
Because everybody can commit for a day.
It's true.
An hour.
Yeah. I really think when people are finding their why, you have to really go within and sit with yourself. Like, what do you want to improve in your life? And back when I was 40 pounds overweight, all I wanted was more stability in my life. I wanted to be able to buy the things that I wanted and have more financial freedom. So that was my why, was I know if I feel better, I'll have more confidence, and that will affect every area of my life. So that was my why then. And then once I had Mackenzie, it was like, toddlers, I don't know what the hell they're smoking, but holy shit. I'm like, I have to keep up with this kid all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I do not want to be the mom that's sitting on the couch like, let's just watch cartoons today. And I mean, we have days like that, but it's like, I want to be involved. I want to have those memories, and I want to create that really deep bond with her. And the only way to do that with your kids is truly connecting.
Activities.
So, yeah. And so that was my second why. But I mean, first was 100% financial confidence. And it affects every area of your life. Like, relationship wise, I mean, that one I'm still can't really master that one. But, the money, the family, I mean, all of that stuff, it does have its effects.
So if I'm a woman listening to this, let's face it, they're probably not, because especially with Colt out here, there's just zero chance there's any women listening. Let's say you know a woman if you're listening to this, and they might want to get in shape. So first of all, what is your Instagram? Let's try to get you 1,000,005 followers today. That's my goal.
There we go.
1,000,005. Moving that needle, baby.
Yeah,
Move the needle. How do they find your Instagram?
Anything counts.
Yeah. How do they find the Instagram?
So it's Tana Ashley, but instead of spelling it the typical Ashley way, I'm very extra, and I do 3 E's at the end.
So Tana.
Yep.
ASHEE.
ASHL.
Yeah.
L.
I'm going to see if you guys can spell, because I'm not the greatest.
TANAASHLEEE.
See, now you're just showing off.
That's what I do.
I think you're right. I don't know. Good luck finding me, guys.
What are you, some kind of spelling guy? Is that who you are?
He just won the spelling bee.
Was it? Did I ever tell you I walk into the 7-Eleven in Orlando one time? Did I tell you the story?
Yes, you did.
Like I hand the 7-Eleven by my house in Orlando was like a never-ending birth of humanity,
Parade.
if you will, right? It was a parade. Like you'd go in every morning before I go to work and it'd be like 7, and there was always, I called him Drywall Guy. I never knew his name, but he was in there almost every day I was in there at the same time. 7 o'clock in the morning, he's already covered in drywall mud. Right? I don't know how.
I just don't think he showered.
I don't know if this was the day before
Hate
or
to
it already
break it
started.
to you.
And he's like the guy at 7 a.m. like back by the beer cooler like, hey man, is this natty ice on sale? What's going on? How'd you like, dude, it's 7 in the morning. And so one day I go through and I get my stuff and I hand the guy, I bring it up and he's like, it's $7.58. And I hand him a 10 and the register like malfunctioned, right? $7.58. And I go, it's $2.42, buddy. And he stops and looks at me and goes, what are you, some kind of math guy? It's just like, maybe, no. Just
Basic math, buddy.
trying to be helpful, man. I don't know what to tell you.
It's
Trying
like
to be helpful.
in an ant's world, a dog is a massive creature.
exactly.
In a dog's world, a human is a massive
Exactly right. So Tana Ashley is the Instagram. If they want to train with you, how much does that run? What's that going to cost me to want to train with you?
So usually for 3 months, it's $3,000.
Okay.
So
3 months for
that's-
$3,000.
That's for like top tier.
Okay.
So
Is that
Can I give
personal training where you
Can
go
I
to
give
the
you
gym?
Can I give you a marketing? I'm going to give you a marketing tip right now if you're listening
Yeah.
to this. When I ask you how much it was for your program, here should have been the answer. And this needs to be your answer for the rest of your life.
Okay.
You ready?
Yes.
How much is your program? Well, it depends. It depends on where you're at. It depends on your goals.
Yeah.
But what I will do is I do a full free 30-minute consultation to figure out where you are with your supplements, where you are with your weight, where you are with your goals, and see if you're a good fit to work together. That I would normally charge like $300.
yeah.
But if you call now, I'll do it for free.
See, and that's what I usually do online.
See,
But
there you
for
go.
some reason, I don't know.
You know what?
I'm
You know what it is?
like,
It's,
well,
it's, you know what it is? It's me and Connell. It's like we just
I
draw the
know.
information out of you. It's like you're just.
Okay.
It's this much. This
Yeah.
is how much it is.
I'm
That's
like,
what it is.
there's top,
Tell the
and then
truth.
There's
No.
mid, and then there's the lower tier.
Love it.
Do you do personal training anymore at the gym?
I haven't done that since 2015.
And let me
Since like the last time I saw you at the gym?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
and let me help you out real quick with your
Yeah.
pricing. If anybody goes, that's expensive, $1,000 a month. That's exactly what I'm paying
Is it?
for my guy. It's
Okay.
Superhuman, same thing,
Yeah.
exactly the same.
Okay.
That's so not out of line, not crazy.
Well, and it's really insane because when you look at a lot of the high performers, I mean, they're investing. When I invest in a business coach, I mean, it's at least 25 grand for the year.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, when you want to level up in something and you're putting your trust into somebody, I think it's better to pay more.
Shortcuts.
LeBron
it's
James,
going to hurt a little bit more.
LeBron James, Dak Prescott, they all spend over $1 million a year. Russell
Coaching.
Wilson on their body,
Yeah.
like for all hyperbaric
Yep.
treatments, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I
so-
agree. It's you only get one of them.
I know.
You can't. You don't get a do over.
Treat it like a trash can.
I know. Well, and it's crazy because people will spend insane money on plastic surgery, and I'm not against plastic surgery whatsoever, but it's like they'll go in and get a tummy tuck before they actually try to take it, like do the natural route, and then they'll get the tummy tuck, they gain all the weight back, and then they're like, I'm back at square one.
My favorite's always been the boob job before the braces. You don't get new rims if the grill's messed up on your car. You just don't do it. You get the grill. You get the grill fixed first, and then you get the rims. That's how it works. I
there you go.
never understood that.
That's
But anyway,
smart.
so guys, Tana, awesome to see you. Thanks for coming in. I love your
Thank
story.
you.
I think it's awesome to hear how that is. And guys, if you liked this conversation, make sure you give us how many stars have we decided it is? Whatever.
Cinco Australia.
Max stars, whatever it
Cinco,
is.
5. Colt's not here, so I got to speak Spanish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Colt's
there
not
you
here,
go.
so you gotta go for the Spanish. Maximum amount of stars. If you're watching us on Instagram, give us a like, give us a subscribe, do that sort of stuff, and we'll go from there. Comment on that stuff. And again, I'll have all Tana's information linked below us in here so you can click and find her.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much, guys. Remember, if you're going to move, you might as well move forward. We'll see you next time. Hey, it's John Gafford. If you want to catch up more and see what we're doing, you can always go to thejohngafford.com, where we'll share any links that things we talked about on the show, as well as links to the YouTube where you can watch us live. And if you want to catch up with me on Instagram, you can always follow me at thejohngafford. I'm here. Give me a shout.